As far as grade, you mean?
Well,
Again, I think you're looking at probably the TIF.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I apologize because we work on that together, and I don't have that up right now. But if it was,
I have it.
Yeah, if what we typically look at is if there's any grading that needs to be done, or depending on the slope, the geotech, how that comes back, or how the civil comes back, we'd want to make sure that we build that up to a finished floor height that meets the criteria that we're looking for drainage and things of that nature. That kind of really came about because of the LOFT project, because we were working with a big surface parking lot, and we had to make sure that the drainage was correct to get any pooling water to the city street and the curb and gutter. On Generations on First, same thing there. We have to make sure that our finished floor height's above the alleyway, so that we don't have pooling of water or negative runoff.
I was just curious about any, the city auditorium is there, and those remaining homes and businesses not being affected by any runoff from the project.
Right. Since this is 100% coverage, where it means we literally build lot line to lot line. Again, based on like what we did with the lofts, we're making sure, and Brandy can kind of comment on this also, or follow up. We're making sure that all the water that comes off of the flat roofs goes into the storm sewer. So it takes a little more civil engineering and designing and things of that nature, and it takes a little bit more plumbing to make sure those things happen. But we do that the right way so that I never have to worry about water coming across sidewalks, or there being an icy spot, or a grading that has to be done. And I mean like a steel grading that would have to be done in the sidewalk for water to flow underneath it and things of that nature. So we always go the extra step. Even if it costs a little bit more, it takes a little bit more time, we make sure that's done adequately and properly.
And I have one last question. Will there be
Yep.
any asbestos remediation in the destruction of these buildings and apartment buildings and homes?
On initial inspection, when I walked through them before I buy the properties, I did not notice any. But like we did on the lofts and we did on the palace, which just got completed, we'll have Joe Biggins actually come in and do an inspection of all the properties before we do any demolition at all. And that report gets sent into the city or into the state to make sure we're complying with all guidelines.
All right. Thanks so much for those answers.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse, and thanks, Diana, for those questions. I'd like to open the public hearing on this if anybody's here to speak on behalf or against. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And just for clarity, Brandy, we also looked at this property here at the last meeting where we approved some similar TIFs. However, at that time, we were looking at the conditional use for this particular location, correct? For the Generations on First?
This one, this one doesn't have a conditional use yet, does it, Jesse?
What's that? I'm sorry.
This location, I don't think has the conditional use yet. The County Fair Banquet Hall location for TIF number 12, that one has the conditional use.
No, we did conditional uses on both of them, I thought, the last time I met with Jill Steiner.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Should have been from
they were both.
the 19th agenda,
From
March 19th. So
they were one after another. Yep.
Okay.
So we'd reviewed the property at that time, and the proposed project approved the conditional use, but at the time didn't have the TIF, and the TIF is now coming back before us to review as well.
We did three TIFs last meeting, right?
We just did two. So we did TIF 11 and 12. So
Oh,
that was
okay.
Eric Scott's project.
And then the one over by the law firm on Camp.
Well, so that was the laser tag building
Yeah.
that Eric Scott's doing, and then the other project that Jesse's doing with the County Fair Banquet Hall.
Yeah, okay, good.
And then now, yeah, we have Generations on First. And that is right. I forgot that we had this one too for the conditional use for Board of Adjustment.
Yeah, they're very similar in nature to the other TIFs that we've talked about. Definitely, exciting to see the progress downtown and all the development going on. I think it's gonna be a
Yes.
game changer.
I think our downtown is going to look completely different in a couple of years from now.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be
We're
awesome.
gonna have a skyline.
Is there, any additional comments on this? We will need a motion in order to proceed forward with this.
See,
See,
there you go.
this is Matt. I just want to clarify one more time, so there was no confusion after the last meeting, that the Plan Commission does approve the boundaries as well as adopt the plan. So just to make sure there's no confusion on that.
Okay.
And Matt, that's all part of a single motion?
Yes, it can be. It's on this. So the resolution cites to both of those requirements, so it can be part of one resolution to approve. Excuse me, one motion to approve that resolution.
Thank you, Matt.
I'd make a motion to approve resolution number 2020-16, adopting tax increment financing district number 13. This is Liam.
A motion by Liam,
I'll second that.
second by Bonnie. So any additional discussion before we take a roll call vote on this? All right, we'll proceed with the vote.
All right, Stein,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes?
Aletsky,
Yes.
Culhane,
Yes.
Kays,
Yes.
Brink,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
and I think that's everyone. All right,
Resolution
motion
passes.
passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Jesse.
Moving on to item 6 is open public comment. Is there anybody here to speak on something that wasn't on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 7, which is new business. Any new business?
I don't have any.
Any from members of the board? And we'll move on to item 8, old business.
So for old business, I'll just inform you guys that we will hold off until this COVID stuff is done for the election of the chairman and vice chair. Just so you guys are not wondering when that's going to be happening. I think that as long as with Blake, with your travel schedule being a little more lax right now, then
Yeah,
if
I'm
you're
not going
okay
anywhere
with,
real soon.
with continuing to chair, that would be great. Then we'll just keep it as is.
Yep, that's fine.
Keep some consistency with all the chaos.
We can use a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right,
Brandy.
that's all I have.
Any need for executive session?
Nope.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that
I'll
motion.
move.
Motion and a second. Motion by Stein, second by Aletsky.
Perfect.
All in favor. Do we need to do a roll call vote on the adjournment too? Does it matter process?
Matt?
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
All right, well,
unfortunately.
let's do a roll
All right,
call then.
One more time. Stein?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Aletsky?
Yes.
Culhane?
Yes.
Kays?
Yes, everybody stay healthy.
Ford?
Yes.
And Brink?
Yes.
Thank you all, and thanks everybody for being flexible on using this new technology and doing things a little bit different way. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you.